Okay, so I didn't try to film this freaking video because the first time I had this stupid tape that doesn't work. My camera is a mini DV, it's little cassette tape things, and the first time I tried to film this video, the stupid tape didn't record anything, so let's again. Okay, so I made this Milotic before, if you follow my DeviantArt, then you've seen this. And I've gotten a lot of questions about, I put the pattern up now, I've gotten a lot of questions about how to make it because it is kind of complicated, but Milotic is just kind of complicated. So I thought the easiest way to explain would be in a video. I really only have to explain the tail though, because the rest of him is pretty easy to figure out. He's not, he's not super complicated. So, okay, here's his tail. Okay, see, the problem is Milotic's tail is like a freaking mosaic, and it's crazy and really hard to figure out. And it took me a while to make the pattern. So anyway, okay, so the big problem I think that people are having, at least I got asked about, is his diamond bits here. Or I'm just going to call them diamonds. I know they're not diamonds, but these bits here. Okay, these are, I think it starts at 11 and 12, I think are where the pieces start on the pattern. Obviously the big pieces are a full one, but then there's half ones. The thing with the half ones is that when I was making this pattern, of course when you make a pattern like this, you're making kind of half of it. You're making, you cut out two identical pieces and stitch them together to make, that's how his body works. It's, two identical pieces just stitched together. So, same way the tail is. The problem with that is then that means there's a seam running down the middle. Like, you can't see it because it's black fabric, but there's a seam running down through the middle. So that means that any of the diamonds that fall on the edge are going to be in half. But when you make the pattern, don't actually cut half, diamonds, and really need a better name for these things. But, don't actually cut one of these in half and then sew it together. That's just a pain. That's way more sewing. So what you do is you take that half piece and you lay it down on your fabric and then trace out the one side, and the line down the middle and everything, flip it over, trace the other side, and then you have a full one. And you have to do that, like I said, for all the ones as you go down his tail, all along the seams on either side. And then you just sew all these into the black. There, it's okay, so then you just sew those in, you sew, but of course you're probably going to sew the edge ones in last, because you're going to want to sew, like, main ones, and those would be the easiest, and then come back and sew those ones, and then just sew them, and then sew the seam at the same time, because otherwise you're just going to have, like, these random bits that are still open in the seam, and you should also obviously have black sewn to black at some points, in between the edge ones. And then also, he's got some red. I know a couple of the ones I have shown to have a blue one and a magenta one. But the reason is because if you look at Milotic's concept art, he's supposed to have magenta spots too in his tail. These random ones, and you can do them random. You can make them, if you have Milotic that you've drawn that's got specific spots with the magenta yet, or if it's shiny, then I don't know off the top of my head what color the shiny is, but, put the spots in wherever you need them. This was just what mine's, this one's name is Yell, and this is just, I just made him a very basic, normal Milotic, so, oh, and another thing to touch on too real quick is his ears. Okay. That's something I didn't think to mention when I put up the pattern, things like this. Yell is a male Milotic, which means he has short ears. Because males are supposed to have short ears, and the females have the big, super long ones. So if you're making this and you want it to be, your Milotic character or whatever, a specific thing or something, then you're going to want to make the ears longer if it's a female. Because males are supposed to have these little short ears, that's why his ears are only that long. But otherwise you want to make them like longer, I don't know how long you want to make them, but whatever, however long you want to make them. But, Oh, and then also the antennas here, of course, have wire in them, Joe, just if anybody wasn't sure or didn't realize. These have wire in them so that they bend, and I can, you know, switch, I can move them and bend them different ways and stuff, and that, but the rest of it's pretty straightforward, so I hope that's going to answer any questions that people would have. But I guess that's it. Bye.